Welcome to Lobbyists for Citizens. We have a very special guest here today, Mr. Joey Tomsick, Chief Executive Officer of the Lake County Council on Aging. Welcome, Joey. Thank you so much for agreeing to be on our podcast. We truly appreciate it.
Well, I am greatly appreciative to you, Brian, for making this time possible, and I just look forward to our little interview here today, and certainly excited about the opportunity to reach out to our community.
Super. I would be surprised if everybody in Lake County knew about the Council on Aging. The more that I get into the county issues, I find that people are not knowledgeable. So let's start with educating people about the Council on Aging. How long you've been around? What do you do? And what do you see presently and for the future of Council on Aging?
Appreciate that opportunity. Thank you, Brian. So the Council on Aging actually was founded back in 1972 as a result of a woman by the name of Ruth Densmore, who in the late 1960s took it upon herself to sort of canvass Lake County and try to find out what the needs of the senior community at that time, what those needs were. And so through some funding from the Lakeland Community College, she started this research project and established in the early 1970s what would become the Lake County Council on Aging. It was actually founded in October of 1972. Some of those initial programs that the Council on Aging focused on were meals, because in 1965, the federal government passed what is known today as the Older Americans Act. And what it did was allow dollars to flow into the 50 states through what are called the area agencies on aging. And so the Council on Aging in those early days used some of those initial dollars to start a meals program. And then, of course, as history will recall, some of the senior centers started coming online. Council on Aging started expanding its services. And by the late 1970s, we were already doing some social work services. And then, of course, the meals program expanding not only from Meals on Wheels, but also in some of those early senior centers. In 1992, the county passed its first senior services levy. And we've been very fortunate and thankful to the voters of Lake County for their support of what has been called the Senior Services Levy. Brian, it has passed every 5 years ever since. We are grateful for it. It's not on the ballot this year, so that's not why I'm here.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
How many people do we service in Lake County? I know, my memory is correct, about a third of the people in Lake County are over 60 years of age. And, if we've got 230,000, total residents, that's quite a few senior citizens. So I'm just wondering what percentage of the senior citizens do the Council on Aging? How many do they help?
Well, and it really depends on when the senior or the family will turn to Council on Aging to sort of start that assessment process to see what mom or dad might need, whether it is some social work services that can give them some assistance with in-home homemaker service. Maybe it is the meals program. Maybe it's benefits assistance. So it's hard to put an actual percentage number on there. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you, Brian, that in 2023, for instance, our meals program served 199,700 some meals.
Wow, about 200,000 meals. Wow, yeah, 200,000 meals.
200,000. It's about 800 meals a day. So you're talking, 800 seniors right there that are receiving this hot meal every day, delivered by the dedicated and committed volunteers of our organization. We couldn't do it without our volunteers. Then we have our homemaker service and benefits and outreach. It really is an amazing thing. Council on Aging is so much more than just Meals on Wheels. We also do educational programs like we're doing right here, right, for Lobbyists for Citizens. So it's an amazing thing. And I know you're going to give a link to our website, and people can dial down and see all the various services that are available.
Yeah, and we did chat a couple of weeks ago about this pending, 30% property evaluation increase, and I know that you're going to start a program with Mike Zern, the treasurer of Lake County, to again educate people of what they may be seeing in 2025. So I think the education, whether it's on property taxes or on any other services, is extremely important. So you provide a very valuable service to the seniors. The other reason that we're here today, there's I picked when I was into your office. You gave me this flyer on the March for Meals. So why don't you share with us, why
Sure.
what is the March for Meals, and how can Lake County residents help you and participate in that?
Well, certainly. So, as I mentioned, our numbers from 2023, Brian, we know that the senior community, the aging population, is the fastest growing population in the United States. It's right here in Lake County, as you mentioned, 1/3 of our population, but it's also that's the case in industrialized nations around the world. And one of the things that we have found is that when asked in retirement, how do people want to enjoy those years? And survey after survey will say they would love to be able to age in place. And so from 1972 through today, our mission, our goal has been to provide those services that can allow a person to achieve that, to age in place. And one of them is the provision of meals to our homebound or isolated seniors. Now, those seniors are the ones that will benefit mostly from this event that's coming up. This is our 18th edition. Actually, we had to skip a couple years because of that pandemic thing that happened a few years back. But I will tell you that we will gather on Saturday morning, March 16th, from 8 until 10 o'clock in the morning to raise funds, but also to advocate for the reality of senior food insecurity, that people in our backyard, in our Lake County here, are hungry and are in need of food assistance, not to even mention all the other assistance programs that they are in need of. But I will tell you also that this will help raise dollars for the rising cost of those meals. We never ask a dime for the Meals on Wheels. And so they are subsidized, obviously, through our senior services levy. Thank goodness for the levy, our federal dollars as well. But just like you and I, our grocery costs are not the same as they were 2-3 years ago. And so everything is rising. And so this event, March for Meals, will help us raise some dollars to help subsidize those rising costs.
Now, as I understand, again, in my desire to understand, how the whole county government works, I do know that the senior service levy, correct me if I'm wrong on the numbers, but I think that it's bringing in a little more than $4 million a year. Is that correct, from the property taxes? And I do know that there is an appointed board appointed by the commissioners. It was 5, and they have raised that to 7, I believe, just recently. So they decide how much of the property tax revenue, how it's distributed throughout the county. Is that correct? Do I have that correct?
Yeah, Brian, it's the Senior Citizens Advisory Panel. It is a recommending panel to the commissioners. They receive applications not only from Council on Aging. We submit our application year after year, but also the senior centers and other partners, like through Jobs and Family Services, for instance, Adult Protective Service. Lake Tran will also submit an application. And then it is the responsibility of this now 7-panel group to decide on allocations for
so
those
I want people to know that the Council on Aging is not getting the entire senior service levy. It is split up with many organizations within within the county. I think.
The Council on Aging, certainly with all the services that it provides to the community, the programs that it provides, not only the meals, but also our, homemaker service, our non-medical in-home care service, the volunteer program, social work service. We also are home to the county's Aging and Disability Resource Center. I'll have to get back on one of these other podcasts so we can break down each one.
We can break down each one. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of details.
Otherwise, we'll be here for a couple hours.
I do know that you do take donations because
Yes.
we were fortunate enough to have some wheelchairs and that sort of thing that we donated to the Council on Aging, because I know you do a great job for that, and there's a real need in the community. So again, I just wanted to make sure that we make everyone aware of what's coming up on March 16th. I'm going to try to be there, and I'm going to try to record it for you so that we've got some video that we can share with the people that perhaps can't make it, but we'd love to have everybody support the Council on Aging. So if you had any other parting words, Mr. Tomsick, please let me know.
Absolutely. Well, we certainly appreciate everything you're doing in our community. Brian, we know that your heart is in the right place when we talk about certainly the seniors here in Lake County. And I just want to thank all of those, again, that are tuning in to this podcast. We hope to see many of our friends at the march on the 16th. But I will tell you, too, we've got our website, a special website with some raffle baskets up there. All of the funds raised will go to our meals program. That's March, then the number 4meals.org, march4meals.org, and check out those baskets. There's some incredible ones, Brian. I hope I can maybe win one or two. Who knows?
We'll make sure we link to it so everybody knows. Thank you so much, Mr. Tomsick, and we'll do this again. Thank you so much.
Okay, you got it.